Earlier, until my high school, I used to spend a lot of time studying, highlighting the important parts, and doing revisions regularly. But still, I used to score very average grades. But I was not able to build any new habits, and even in my studies, I was not extraordinary. All of my time was spent simply on studies and doing revisions. But later, I made certain changes in my study routine and techniques, and ever since, I have never looked back at all. Now, I am performing best in my studies. I am also building new hobbies, and I am also able to take out some free time for myself. So, first of all, let's get to know why instead of just focusing on revision, we should focus more on building strong foundations of our subjects. As I have also talked about it earlier, that here we are trying to make bottle leakage free or impervious so that the water can stay in the bottle. Same way, we are trying here is to build knowledge with very strong foundation so that it does not leak from our brain, and we need way less revision cycles, and we can save our time and in fact score even better than the earlier. Now let's get to know why those traditional methods like rereading, highlighting and memorizing are not very effective for deep learning. So the first reason is lack of active engagement. Rereading does not promote passive engagement with the material. They do not actively engage our brain in critical thinking or analysis and active participation, which would lead to better understanding and retention. Second is it lead to shallow processing. Since we are not engaged with the material meaningfully, so it does not lead to better memory and understanding. And the third reason is illusion of competence. This happens with most of us, that highlighting actually creates illusion for us, since we feel like we have understood the material just because we have marked certain parts. So now what actually we need to do for effective learning of our subjects? For effective learning, we require the combination of some effective techniques as well as the habits. In study techniques, we will talk about the particular way by which we should study. We will be applying them during our studies. In the habit section, we will talk about how to make changes in our thinking so that the active learning can happen inevitably without even thinking by ourselves. Study technique I will talk about in this video are that is first, study in layers. Second, gather broader perspective of the topic. Third, implement active learning while studying. Fourth, interleave subjects or topics. Fifth, use concrete examples. So first of all, let's talk about how to study in layers. So for example, let's see how a house is constructed. A house is constructed step by step, from adding pillars to adding brick walls and then doing plaster, and at last painting is done to give final touch to the finished house. No one makes house by completing one room first from the pillar to the painting step and then building the second room and so on. Same way, we need to build our understanding of the topic gradually by adding complexity and depth as we go. Second, gather broader perspective of the topic. In this technique, try to explore various viewpoints, understanding different contexts, and consider diverse sources of the information. We need to read widely by consulting a variety of sources, and also try discussing with diverse groups or interdisciplinary approach. And in the end, we need to reflect and synthesize the information related to that topic. Third, implement active learning while studying. So how to do it? In order to do that, try asking why questions rather than what and where questions. For example, why a certain thing exists, or why do I need to know that certain topic? This will help our brain to generate curiosity for that subject, so that we read the content actively with a question in our mind. It's like quizzing yourself even before you have started to learn that topic. Fourth, interleave subject or topic. Here we should focus on more than one topic at once. Mixing topics together will help us in creating comparisons and connections between the topics. It will enhance our overall learning capacity. Fifth, use concrete examples. For example, try to create your own examples for your topic. This will further trigger our mind to understand the topic better. This will help our brain to transfer the information to our long-term memory. And here comes the last topic of this video, that is habits. What habits to follow in order to learn a topic so that it could transfer to our long-term memory. So the first habit you should inculcate is to embrace difficulties. Learning process should be challenging enough. If it is going smooth for you, then you should get alarmed that you are doing something wrong, because learning process is meant to be difficult and uncomfortable for our brain to provide us the long-term retention. And the second habit you should develop is to reflect on learning. Now, the final step you should do is to take some time and reflect back and evaluate how the learned information fits in the big picture. It will help to consolidate information in a better manner. This will make the learned information more accessible for the future use. And try to develop self-awareness about your own learning process and understand your learning strengths and weaknesses. All these things will eventually help you in adapting to your learning strategies for your better efficiency and effectiveness. So, in short, effective learning is to acquire information in a manner so that it remains in our long-term memory, so that we will need way less revision cycles, saving more free time, enjoying other important things in our life, and scoring even better grades. So that's it for this video. See you in the next one. Till then, keep thriving.